Apple TV has a new series titled Surface, starring Gugu Mbatha-Raw, Stephan James, Oliver Jackson-Cohen, and so many more. I have been utterly obsessed from the pilot, and in this series we get to see a woman's quest to rebuild her life after a suicide attempt and her struggle to understand all the things that led up to that moment. In this video, y'all, we are going to break down the pilot episode titled Indelicato. The first episode really just establishes what we're about to see. We get to know who Sophie is, who her husband is, who Baden is, who happens to be following her all around San Francisco, trying to get her attention so that he can talk to her as she is trying to really pick up the pieces for the life that she once knew, but she doesn't remember. And it seems to be that she doesn't remember anything after she attempted suicide by jumping off of a ferry in San Francisco. Now, in this first episode, we get to meet her group of friends whom she really doesn't know aside from the one blonde girl. Her name is Caroline. We get to see a moment out with them, and Sophie literally is like, wait, are these my friends? And she's like, yeah, girl, you don't have any other friends. And then we get to meet some of the people that she was interacting with on a daily basis. So she used to do like volunteer philanthropic work with the hospital. So we get to see her make her way back to the hospital and talk with one of the nurses who knew her quite well before her accident. We get to see her meeting with her therapist, Hannah, multiple times in this episode. But the bulk of the time that she spends in this episode is with her husband, James. And while he seems very kind and loving and patient on the surface, there is something definitely behind this guy's eyes that could give anyone understanding as to why, you know, Sophie could have this notion that something ain't right? Like something else is actually going on. It begs the question, and it actually gets said like in the dialogue in this show, in this first episode, of like, why would she try to kill herself if her life was so perfect? Because the life that we see her dropped into in this day on this episode seems great. She has friends, she has philanthropic work, they are financially well off, she is taken care of, she is free to do as she pleases, you know, she still laughs, she has a beautiful wardrobe, like she has everything that you could possibly think of. What would have made her jump off of a ferry? That is the question. Baden enters her orbit, I would say that, in this episode, and starts to really help her peel back the onion by like planting the seed of like, your husband isn't telling you everything about what has happened. And he doesn't initially give any more information, but somehow she stumbles across this video where she gets to see that her and Baden were having a nice little sexual situation that I ain't even gonna hold you. It's giving more than the marriage is giving, and it's only looking like a little hotel rendezvous, and I was totally here for it. And this shakes up Sophie, forces her to, you know, basically track Baden down and then confronts him. And of course, initially she's going to be defensive. Of course, initially she is going to deny, and she tells him she don't want nothing to do with him, that he needs to stay out of her life. And he just says unequivocally, I can't do that. Not you might be in love with her. Is that what we given? Because they definitely had planned before she jumped to run away together. And it's so many pieces that they give us to the puzzle in this first episode. They just don't tell us in the order that we're supposed to put them together in. So you can get different pictures based off of what pieces you're looking at any given moment in the episode. And I think that is what is intriguing me the most, because when she was looking at her suicide letter, and her husband walks in and says, I thought that we put this behind us, it read one way. But then after she saw the video and then hearing Baden talk, it's like, okay, wait, this wasn't necessarily a suicide note. This might have been a Dear John letter. I'm leaving you for something else, something better. And again, it's so many beautiful puzzle pieces that we get in this first episode, and it really just gives us just enough to get Sophie's backstory, for us to get drawn into her and invested in her as a character, and for us to know pretty much all of the players. And now we're going to have to go on and figure out who's lying, who's telling the truth, who wants the best for her, who is trying to manipulate her. Now, in the idea of her being manipulated and people lying to her, my biggest question is why? Why put on this big old farce? There's a moment where James is at like this event for his job, and he has Sophie come and wear a dress that she don't want to wear. Come to find out, the dress that she did want to wear was one that she had wore for Baden before, and that was probably why she liked it subconsciously, but you know, that's neither here nor there. But while she's like, when she had walked off, James started talking to a colleague, and he's like, I could have never just gone back to that. You could have had a clean slate. And it was alluding to the fact of like, you could have been done with her in this whole situation, but now you're back playing the doting husband, and it makes no sense. And it's just like, yes, you don't have to put up this farce so that she don't have to put up this farce, because she don't remember it anyway. Like, at this point, it's given that Sophie is just believing all of the people who have come together and said, I loved you, and this is who I am in your life. She's just taking it at face value and going with it, or taking it at surface value and going with it, when none of y'all gotta lie. Hannah, you ain't gotta lie, and that's making me a little bit concerning, because you supposed to be her therapist, a licensed professional, and you out here shaping the narrative for her, because I definitely think that she's saying some shady stuff. She's a little bit too suggestive for me to completely trust everything that she's saying. Her friend Caroline in that damn story about how she broke her arm just slipping and falling outside of Chanel, I don't believe that. Like, it's just way too many people involved, and way too many people concocting stories and having suggestive narratives when all of y'all don't have to do that. Sis don't remember. Y'all could have let her go on and be somebody completely different. But again, this is what adds to all of the mystery and intrigue of the show. And as I mentioned, I am 100% hooked. That is my breakdown for episode 1. Surface, starring Gugu, is streaming right now on Apple TV+. The first 4 episodes are available as I am recording this video, and they will drop weekly on Fridays. It has an 8-episode season, I believe, and I will come and break down every single episode for you. It's your good sis you let her talk TV with. If you've watched Surface, drop a comment. Let me know what you thought about the first episode in the comment section down below. Give this video a like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date and in the know for all the best things that you should be watching on TV. I'll see you in the next one.